Have you ever lived in a neighborhood where everybody painted their house and their fence a different color? Or perhaps they parked their snowmobiles on the front lawn? My friend, I have been there, and I like to live in a nice area. I like to live in a neighborhood where there is some sort of pride of ownership. Today, I'm going to talk to you about the 3 different entities that govern Bella Vista's rules, guidelines, regulations, if you will, covenants, to help upkeep that pride of ownership in Bella Vista. It's in the name. Bella Vista means beautiful view. So today we're going to cover those types of things, and in no particular order, the specific entities that help uphold those covenants, rules, guidelines, and regulations to make sure the area stays beautiful. Those are the Property Owners Association, the Architectural Control Committee, and the City of Bella Vista. Of course, we're going to break down each one of those and give some examples as to what each one of those does and how much does it cost. How do they intertwine with one another to help govern, again, that pride of ownership to make sure that the covenants are upheld in Bella Vista, Arkansas. You're probably familiar with living in a city, and just like any other city where you might be, anywhere from New York to Los Angeles, is each city has elected officials. Each city has a police department, a fire department. They also have probably a road commission as well. Say there's potholes or things that are happening on the road, the city is the one who's responsible for taking care of those types of things. Cities also are responsible, just like it is here in Bella Vista, cities are also responsible for the issuing of building permits and the enforcement of those building permits. So when somebody's adding on or building a new home, the standards of construction are upheld, and we're not just putting up properties that are unregulated and that maybe fall down in a few years. And of course, every city that you've probably ever lived in, the way that they are funded is by your local tax dollars. The next most familiar thing you might know about is an HOA or a POA, a homeowners association or a property owners association. Here in Bella Vista, it's called a POA, a property owners association. HOA, POA, very interchangeable as to what both of those mean. Here in Bella Vista, that means these folks are responsible for all of the fun things that you might see, the parks, the pavilions, the lakes, the putt-putt golf courses, or even the gun range and the marinas that you might see all around Bella Vista, Arkansas. The Property Owners Association is governed by a board of directors as well as a chief operating officer and is funded by your association dues that are billed to you monthly. To be a member of the POA, you have to show your ownership of a lot in Bella Vista. Now, there are 2 types of lots in Bella Vista. There are improved lots and unimproved lots. An improved lot is what you might think, a lot that has a home on it and a water meter. An unimproved lot is basically a bare piece of land, no water meter on it, and there's no improvement on the property like a house or some type of a structure. For an improved lot, your membership dues are $40 a month. For an unimproved lot, they're $16 a month. Besides all of the parks and pavilions, your association dues also help pay for the water department and also the private trails around Bella Vista. Of course, the POA is a private nonprofit organization. Now, third is something you may not have ever heard of. Of course, we have the city, and then we have the Property Owners Association. Next, we have what's called the Architectural Control Committee. Now, these folks are the ones that are responsible for making sure that the aesthetics, the outside appearance of your home, your landscaping, are all responsible for how things look, essentially. The Architectural Control Committee, again, is a nonprofit organization that upholds the rules and regulations that are lined out in their policies and procedures manual. They are governed by the BVVACC, which stands for the Bella Vista Village Architectural Control Committee, and also has its own board of directors. Now, you might be asking, okay, how do these all fit in what I'm looking to do with owning property or wanting to enjoy what Bella Vista has to offer? Okay, let's take those 3 entities and put it into practice. Let's say now you're looking to move to Bella Vista and you want to buy a home. Maybe this home is older and needs to be remodeled. Let's say, for instance, you want to gut the inside of the house. In regards to the Architectural Control Committee or the Bella Vista POA, it's not a problem to them. However, if you want to gut the inside, you need to do some electrical, some plumbing, depending on all what you need to do in that home to remodel it, you might need to get a building permit from the city. So they're going to issue the permit and they're going to have to come in, re-inspect to make sure that permit is enforced properly. Now, you've got the inside all the way done. The inside looks gorgeous and you're thinking, hey, you know what? I'd love to do the outside of the house and add a deck onto the home. Now, adding a deck onto the home, not only one are you going to need to get a building permit from the city, you're also going to need to get approval from the Architectural Control Committee, because the outside, the aesthetics, the way that your home and your deck look, not by you, but also by the neighbors around you, the ACC needs to sign off on that as well. So you need to get both of those entities involved. Again, the POA has nothing to do with this. The building permit from the city and the sign off from the Architectural Control Committee to going to see what you plan on adding onto the outside of the home. Now, when it comes to the color of your home, we don't have to worry about getting a permit from the city, but you will have to get sign off on what color you choose to paint the outside of your home from the Architectural Control Committee. Let's go one step further and you say, okay, the inside of the house is done. The deck has been added on. But you know what? That roof is looking a little ragged and we probably should put on a new roof. Now, one might think, because I've lived in different cities and needed to have a permit to change the roof, whereas in Bella Vista, you do not need a roof permit in order to put on a new roof, but you do need sign off from the Architectural Control Committee to make sure that the aesthetics, the beautification, the color and style of shingles or roofing that you plan on putting on that roof are approved by the ACC. I know that may all sound simple enough, but let me get in a little bit more for you to why some people might not be comfortable with a property owners association. Sometimes super easy rules, but sometimes it's so heavily regulated that you need to make sure that you're following the rules accordingly. Now, here's an example that we can really get into the weeds on. Let's say you just got done putting on that new roof of your home in Bella Vista and you want to reward 3 of your friends, take them with you out on one of the lakes and do some paddleboarding, enjoy a water activity, right? So let's say you wanted to do that. According to the POA, you need a membership card, an activity card, a lake use permit, you need guest passes for each one of your guests, and you need to register each and every watercraft that you bring out onto the lake with you. Now, I understand that might be a lot of hoops to jump through, my friend, but it does help keep out the riffraff, and it does help make sure the beautification of the area that are just members and their guests only. So not everybody, like me, I'm not a property owner in Bella Vista. I can't just run up there and use the lake whenever I want. I have to go with a member and have a guest pass. Earlier, I had mentioned an activity card. Now, if you are someone that's going to go golfing, shooting range, rent a boat out on Lake Loch Lomond, then you might want to purchase an activity card, which is $30 for the year. You get discounts on greens fees, boat rentals, but you also have free access to the recreation centers, which is almost an entire gym membership in itself, because they have workout facilities, classes, access to the swimming pools. But an activity card, if you are an active member of the Bella Vista POA, then you might want to purchase one of those that gives you, again, free access to certain things and discounted access. Actually, I believe you also get discounted on some of the Bella Vista restaurants because you have an activity card. I know that's a lot of information to try to keep straight, so hopefully this information was useful for you. And of course, my friends, if you want more detail, go on to bellavistapoa.com. Onto the website, it has the entire fee schedule. It has all of this lined out for you. Now you know a little bit more about what life is like in and around Bentonville. Thanks for watching.